So yes, I am pregnant. Pregnant with my 6th child. This is gonna be my 4th baby daddy. Yes, it's true. It's true. Yes, I am homeless. I'm homeless. I'm living out of my car. I'm living out of hotels. I'm living from pillar to post. Okay, I have no job. Yes, I have no job. Okay, we listen and we don't judge.
I think we should go back to judging a little bit. And I'm all for like a positive attitude with when life kicks you and knocks you down. But I think it just kind of ends up normalizing this sort of dysfunction. We put it out there, we make it seem like it's glamorous. Like, look at me, I'm done up, I'm glammed up. And let me tell you my awful story of how I made my choices and got here. But I'm telling you with a smile. I'm telling you why I'm looking good, why I'm looking attractive, and it becomes a tool or a way to press on impressionable minds. They're thinking, okay, maybe at least I'm not as bad as this, or even if I was, look, it could still look. Some guy will still want me. This is one thing we really need to stop in the community. But let's continue hearing the story. We're gonna let her talk, let her really get into it. But first, some housekeeping, guys. Continue to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel. The membership is open. You can join the channel. You can show your support. We're just kind of fleshing out that area where you guys can have a chance to really communicate better with me. You can even send me suggestions for different ideas, things that you want me to, cover, or to have like a larger conversation on. Working on the live streams. I don't want to just hit live and just, talk. I want to give you guys something to be entertained with and learn something, and a community where we can go back and forth. Let's continue here.
I have no job. I'm 35 years old, living out of my car, pregnant, not with the baby daddy, by myself. Could life get any worse? Possibly. I mean, I could step out tomorrow and get hit by a car. And then we're in the hospital. Shit.
And positive attitude, right? Maybe there's a bit of cope in there. Right? You sometimes see how people will cover up their pain with some sort of humor and some sort of jokes and jest, and it's a coping mechanism. It's not truly like you feel good about yourself or you think you're in an enviable situation.
That would not be good. So the next time somebody comes to my comments asking me questions, refer back to this video. Yes, I know I'm old as okay, got a hell of a lot of kids, I'm homeless, and I'm broke.
All right, we got the gist, right? So let's see. She gets into this another post talking about what we would all say, you need to choose better, or what's up with the baby daddies? Where are they? Let's get into that.
He took my kids from me. You guys literally keep asking me, where's your baby daddies? Why are your baby daddies not helping you? How could you be going through this? You have all these baby daddies and they're not helping you. Okay, so let me break it down, okay? My first baby daddy, which was my husband, cheated on me throughout our whole relationship. I got the balls and I cheated on him back. We got married. There was more infidelity, blah, blah, blah.
So I'm not really sure if that order is accurate or how she just told that story. But if you go with what she said, right? And I like to try and do that with these stories because it's these people, it's their own story. But you guys cheated on each other, then got married, then infidelity continued. I think there was a good insertion point right there where you could have just said, let's call this, let's call this a wash and let's go our separate ways.
We broke up. Mind you, I always had the kids. Always. Hi, baby. I always had the kids. But once we broke up the last time, he got with this chick. And she helped him devise a plan to take my children away from me. It was the most hardest thing. I don't think I've ever recovered from that, honestly, truly. But yeah, that's what happened with that. By the way, he's married to the lady now, and him and I were just fucking around like 4 months ago. Yes, I know what you're thinking, Liv, how could you do that? I was in desperation mode. I just wanted my kids back, and I thought fucking with the man who did me the worst in my life was the best way to do that. It was stupid, it was dumb, because now he's cut me off again since the wife found out.
What can we say to that? I guess we can't really use the justification I was desperate, to be in the kids' lives. That's why you chose to mess around with a man that has a proven track record of doing you dirty, and a wife that is more than happy to help him, to assist him in doing that. it- at some point in time, we need to just, again, judge and be told that was a bad thing, that was a silly thing for you to do, and it's not getting you anywhere close to the results that you want.
And it's just a big mess. But anyway, I don't want him. Like I said, it was just solely about getting my kids back in my home, and that's why I thought that was a good idea to do. And yeah, and by the way, he was given my kids, he was given primary custodial, with no proof of drug use. So don't come in my comments being like, oh well, you mustn't. No, I wasn't on drugs. I had my own place. I was doing very well for myself at the time. I just didn't have a lawyer, so the judge gave him my kids. So ladies, be careful, because it could happen, okay? It could happen. It happened.
Definitely going to happen. It's usually in the case of extreme cases. If you don't have a lawyer, and the woman is representing herself pro se, child support is, it's, or family court is still going to look and say, well, if you have the means, you should assist her in doing this. They still very much look and say that the place with children is usually going to favor the mother. So when it doesn't, men usually look and say there might be something underlying happening here that's causing, that would cause the courts to say otherwise. Maybe the man has a more stable situation, but more than likely it's usually because there's some sort of demerits or some detriment for having the kids with her.
To me. Okay, so baby daddy number 2. He was like a clout chaser. I met him and he like grabbed, like when I met him, he found out that I was somebody on YouTube, because I have a big YouTube following, you guys. That's where I come from. He found that out and he pretty much clout chased off of me, used me for that. Anyway, along all of the mess, because he tried to drag me and he tried to go on there and expose me, and it was a big fucking mess, okay? During that big mess, I ended up pregnant with my son, Angelo, and I love him to pieces, and I'm so happy that I have him. But anyway, that was a mess. And guess what, girls? He ended up with a 65-year-old subscriber of mine.
This should really be a lifetime movie. This really should be a lifetime movie. You got with someone that was a clout chaser and used you for clout, and you still had his child. And what we hear a lot of is the rationalization justification that, I love my children. No one expects you not to. Right? It's a beautiful thing. That doesn't make the scenario in which the child came here any less, repulsive, right? And again, we're not using this to sort of dig. It's just, we need to have a guiding hand in saying, instead of us glamorizing the lifestyle of how people get into these situations, we should at some point in time say, don't. This should be a cautionary tale, not something to aspire towards.
Okay, now baby daddy number 3. I love him. He's her dad. He has always helped me. He's not in her life because he has a whole different life than me. We met, we fell in love, and we had my baby. It was short-lived, but he's still around. He still helps as much as he can. And yeah, but he doesn't give me drama. He doesn't give me problems. He's the one that I get along with. So shout out to him. Love you. But yeah, he's cool. Baby daddy number 4. Okay, so he's locked up. Locked up. They won't let him out. No, he is he's a bad person. But anyway, it was just one of them nights. The sea broke. The sea definitely broke, and I was, I had precautions going on. I was not homeless at the time. Finding out that I was pregnant while I'm homeless is extremely crazy. But yeah, I was not homeless. People were like, how could you impregnate a homeless chick? I was not pregnant. I mean, I was not homeless.
I can definitely see plenty of men impregnate a homeless chick. There's plenty of stories I've seen where they're giving testimonials about how they ended up on the streets, and the comments are filled with men saying, "I can change her, I can save her. Come to Atlanta, come to here, come to here." It's definitely a reality. But if we follow the trend, right, of the choices that she's made, you had someone that, for one, you say you actually loved, you cared about. It was a good one. Why, why do you go from that to someone that is now locked up? Right? Again, we always talk about, you love hood dudes, right? You love the bad boy. But at some point, you would think that a lesson would be learned somewhere with the number of kids being had to say, okay, I have to stop, I have to change my life. But when there's no incentive to change your life, there's no reason to make any changes because life is still giving you the things that you want. You can go back and say, I'm so happy that I have these kids. I love these kids. So that becomes makes it easier for the very next one, or the next one, or the next one. Never looking and saying, how can I create a more stable sort of environment for these children? Because statistically, we know their outcomes are going or trend downward. They don't really do well when they're involved in this sort of chaotic mess. And it's one thing saying have a chaotic mess, but we have a chaotic home. But you're homeless. You're moving around. You don't know what happens the next day. It's not only dangerous for a woman to be in that situation. It's even more so to have children in in that situation, in that scenario.
At the time, and I found out I was pregnant a couple weeks ago, or a week or so ago, whatever. But anyway, he's in jail, so yeah. I don't have the best pick in men. I already know that, especially any of them. But it is what it is. We live and we learn, and we try to.
But the caveat there is, the living and the learning part. There doesn't really seem to be any type of learning going on here. It's just one bad scenario to one bad scenario, and then the justification, the rationalization about it. I just don't pick well. Okay, but now how many lives have you created because you understand that you don't pick well? I mean, I hope this can be viewed differently as a cautionary tale. People can put it out in different ways and just say, okay, great, thank you for the testimonial. Look, this is not what you should be doing. That's just my opinion. If you got something different, let me know in the comments. If you agree, definitely let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in there.